By the time you're done watching this video, you're gonna be able to create email copy which literally makes people fall in love with you. They're not gonna hate you like this is a random person just emailing us, ruining our day. They're literally gonna look at your email and be like, damn bro, God really figured out the thing I'm struggling with, and God put this person in my life as a blessing. By the time you're done watching this, I promise this is going to be a reality. It's going to be step by step. Even if you've never written email copy before, or if your email campaigns previously were not performing, nothing, it does not freaking matter. By the time you're done watching this, you're going to be in the perfect position. So the first thing which I want you to do is, obviously because we're going to be taking action, you have to click on file, make a copy, and just click on make a copy over here so that we can actually edit the document and everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have some basic principles which need to be followed, and it's very important you follow them meticulously and you do not try to like skip over them or something. The first principle, less is more. Assume like it's a very good analogy for being like, for full transparency, I got this from an Instagram reel where the person was like, if you're writing out a piece of cold email copy, whatever you're writing, just assume that the person who is reading it is crossing a busy New York street. Like let's say he has a job in Wall Street and he's just crossing the busy road, the traffic is beaming, all the people are like honking over there, and in one hand he has his briefcase and he's closing the car door and he's like trying to cross the road, and he just opened up your email on his phone, like one hand is busy, he's just reading that, and he can only reply with like one finger, so he's holding the phone like this and he can only reply with the thumb. So it's a very good analogy. I always keep this in mind. Like I assume I'm writing my email for this person, so obviously then I try to narrow everything down. I make it very easy for him to respond. I get like to the point. I'm not trying to blabber, by the way I have 69 years of experience, I'm this person. So it really helps out a lot with that. And the next thing is they should be able to understand your email and reply in 10 to 20 second max with one hand. Once again, like going back to the earlier point I was making, he's an extremely busy person. He has just one hand to reply to what you have sent in the email, and it should take like the entire interaction for him seeing your subject line and replying should take like 10 to 20 seconds max. Simplicity wins. Like just keep it extremely simple. Even if you're not good with it, you just have a good offer, you can get away with it. Coming to the structure of the email, it's a very simple structure. If it does not make sense, like just keep on watching, and I promise by the time you're done with this, you're gonna have crafted each and every single aspect of this email structure, and when you combine them, you have a perfect piece of email copy. The first thing is obviously like a personalized first line, which is gonna be different for everyone, and obviously we can do it using AI and everything, and not like a shitty AI thing. It's actually pretty freaking dope. I'm gonna show you some examples and all, and we add that because then like the person can see that in the preview and he thinks like you actually are writing an email for him and it's not being blasted from like a random software in China or something. And after the first line, the person is like, damn bro, he has done his research on me, blah blah blah. You don't have to do it. Like thanks to technology and AI in 2024, you don't need to do all of this work. Then you're just like the reason for the email, why you're sending out the email, and obviously then the call to action. Once the person is done reading the email, what exactly is he supposed to do? And last thing, like it's optional but I always keep it in, is just an abundance projection. Is just being like, yeah bro, if you're not interested, it's totally cool. So the person does not feel like very pressured that we're just trying to get something out of him. That's the basic email structure, and now we're going to be crafting each and every single step of the process. So the first step is obviously writing the personalized first line. So there are different types of first lines, like the first line, the personalized line. There are different types of them, and the best and the worst one for you is obviously going to depend on a lot of factors. Coming at it from just like a deliverability perspective, like the highest reply rates, like what will give you the highest reply rates and what would not give you the highest reply rates. Manually writing out like the first lines, the personalized first lines, obviously that's gonna be the best thing. Like obviously just in terms of like reply rates, obviously if you're like that type of person who's just like breezing through it and you're not even like doing research for like 1 minute and like you're just randomly writing shit, then obviously it's gonna give you like pretty terrible results. But if you're genuinely like going through all of the profiles, you're spending a couple of seconds, like 30 seconds, 60 seconds on each profile, and then you're manually extracting information from the socials and everything, and then you're writing out the lines, it sounds like extremely human, and obviously it's much better than AI, at least right now, provided you actually do the work. So manual first lines are gonna give you like the highest reply rates, which is gonna be followed by AI generated lines. And the catch is this only works well with ChatGPT o1. Like the free version is absolutely terrible, that does not work. But even in the paid plan, when I have tried creating all of this using ChatGPT 4o, it still does not work. 4o mini obviously is bad as well, but ChatGPT 4o is still not good enough at it. So the only thing which works is ChatGPT o1, which is the most advanced model, and you can use it to generate like hyper personalized line, and it's like completely automated. You don't have to write it out. And some examples, I think I personalized it yesterday. So like these lines are all written by AI. I did not write it, so we can just go through some examples. Notice your 4K followers, your fearless approach to building confidence is just the vibe, the name of the person. Spotted your IG 971K strong and love how you empower women entrepreneurs to tackle chaos and level up. So what it did is basically I scraped all of this from Instagram, and in case you're wondering how exactly you do that, you can come to the SalesGen community, and like if you're watching this on YouTube, then like the link for the free trial is going to be there, and you automatically get access to it. If you already have an account, you can just start your membership from here, and you go to the learning section, and over here in the unlimited lead generation part, you can figure out how you can scrape the leads. So all the process is explained over there, but obviously they had stuff in their bio and everything. So yeah, it just went through all of that stuff, and yeah, that's how it does it. Spotted your IG 972K folks trusting your approach to nervous system resilience is so cool. Yeah, so obviously it's like pretty freaking dope, I'll say, and I think it's good enough. So this is my personal favorite because it's like hyper personalized with AI and everything, and obviously it's much more scalable. I don't have to manually write it out, but manual is still unfortunately the best thing. After that, you can use generic lines. Like the line is not hyper personalized for every single person, but you have some personalization fields, like you can change the name of their business, and I'll give you some examples below, so that will help you understand that. And this is going to lead to like lower reply rates compared to the AI generated first lines, but obviously it's going to be better than having no personalization. So you can use like a generic personalized, like let's say you're reaching out to YouTubers, you can be like, I found your content on YouTube and absolutely loved it. So that's like a generic first line. Obviously it does not sound like very good. Obviously like it can be sent to like 100,000 people as well, so they understand it. The next type of line, like an example of this for the YouTuber, it might be something like, found you on YouTube and found insert channel name, so found Mr. Beast, found your channel Mr. Beast on YouTube, and the audience of insert subscriber count. So we're using like fields from the CSV file, like the lead list, and we're going to be changing it for every single person, so it's slightly more personalized. The AI generated one is going to be something like, found your videos related to improving your life on YouTube, and the one on meditation where you said this thing genuinely helped me out a lot. So now it's much more personalized, and manual is obviously the best. I mentioned that you were speaking about the fact that as a kid you loved whatever, like let's say like just notice, like remembered that you were mentioning in some video that you were a very big Ronaldo fan, and yeah, that's something blah blah blah. Basically you find a point from the YouTube video. So obviously this cannot be done with AI right now, so the person knows, okay, this guy actually took the time. This is still not like the person cannot really tell it's done by AI. If you prompt AI, well, obviously, if you're like a retard, then AI generated lines are gonna be recognized like instantly. So yeah, the best to worst is this order. And my personal pick is AI generated first lines work really well because they're hyper personalized, and that's what I personally use. And a tutorial to use AI to create these first lines for emails and maybe Instagram outreach, WhatsApp outreach as well is gonna be shared in the SalesGen community. Here are the guidelines which you can use to create personalized first lines. It should just be a compliment, nothing else. It has been working since ages and it works really well. Some examples which you can use, obviously, if you're using the AI generated thing, like a separate tutorial will be shared because it's gonna take a while for me to explain it to you. And if you're doing it manually, like you have to do it manually, you have to do the work. But I'll suggest you go ahead with this generic with personalization fields. If you cannot do both of them, obviously, if you have time, do the manual one. So I'll give you some examples which I've successfully used when reaching out to like local businesses. Obviously, it works for any niche if you have access to data. So a personalized line could be like found company name. So this would be the name of the local business when you scrape local business leads. Obviously, like I'll try to see if I have, I think so. Yeah. So this is salons in Scottsdale. So I'll just try to find the name of the company. If it's there, where's the name of the company? Is the name not there? Additional info. This is the address. Just a second, just trying to find the first name if that field is available over there. Location. This might be the wrong one then. Just a sec. Yeah, this one did not have. Yeah. So this is like the name of the salon, like the name of the company. So let's say I'm targeting this company. So I can just rename this as like company name, the field. And what will happen is this is like a placeholder. So obviously when we add this thing in our software, in the SalesGen software, this is going to be replaced by the name of the local business. So if I'm reaching out to like, I can just add all these leads. So it's going to be like, let's say this is the person who's receiving the email. What he'll read is like, found Studio 10 nails on Google. And it seems like the total review count. Like I can also, I have this field right over here, like the total number of reviews. Yeah. So these are the total number of reviews. So this is going to change automatically for all the different people. And it seems like, so I'm using like the total number of available reviews. So it was like, let's say 165 in business city. So this will automatically be changed according to the city where the business is located. So I think, where's it? So I can even use like neighborhood because it's like even better. So like, let's say South Scottsdale. So I can just use this field. Like I could insert the field over here, and the people in South Scottsdale really love you. So this is what the person is going to read. Like this is completely automated. We don't have to change the name over here and the number of reviews and the city or the locality. This is going to automatically populate across all the different emails. Like we can do it for like hundreds, 200s of emails automatically. So yeah, this works pretty well, and this is what the person is going to read. Found Studio 10 nails on Google, and it seems like the 165 people in South Scottsdale really love you. Haha. So now the person is like, okay, he knows the name of my business, how many reviews I have, where exactly I'm located. Obviously, they might be in a position of telling like, is he sending it out using automation if they're good with marketing? But most people won't really be able to tell. So you can go ahead with this. And yeah, so I'm just gonna undo this. And like, let's say this is another example of that. let's say I'm targeting dentists. So I can be like, the niche is obviously the people we are targeting. So was searching for dentists, and we can also like, let's just assume this was the link of dentist. We can see the category of, yeah, so we can see over here was searching for hair salons, beauty salons, facial spas, nail salons, hair removal services in the city of the business. So over here we can just include the locality. So like, let's say, no, we're using this, right? So where's the locality? Where's the city? Just a second. Yeah, let's say, yeah. So this is what it might look like. Looking for dentists in the locality, and the Google rating of, basically we include the average rating which people have on Google. And if it's not making sense, like when we're actually importing all these like fields into the software and everything, then it's gonna make perfect sense. So we can see like what is the average rating which these people have. So just a second, where was that? We can also use this like the rank, like what ranking they have on Google. So we can use all of this. We can use the average rating, average review. So basically, like, let's say it was 4.9 stars over here. It's going to be different for everyone, and the software is going to populate all these fields automatically. And yeah, so it is pretty personalized as well. Was searching for dentist in Scottsdale Fiesta, and the Google rating of 4.9 stars is honestly pretty impressive. So this is like, these are some examples of what you can do if you're using like generic post lines with personalized fields, so it looks like kind of personalized. And if you don't have access to personalized data, Somil, I don't have all this different types of data, like all these fields, like where people are located, blah blah blah, I'm like a crybaby, all of that crap. If you're making those excuses, then you should just simply scrape data from better sources, and obviously just go to the SailGen community. It has like everything, all the lead generation, all of those things. It's included for free with your SailGen subscription. So just scrape data from better sources so you have access to more fields. After that, you can use AI to extract personalized fields. What exactly do you mean by that? So I'm just gonna try to look for my chat which I had with ChatGPT yesterday. I think this is the one. No, maybe not. I think this is one. Yeah. I think so. So basically, what I did is I had this lead list, filtered coaches, and this was like a lot of data. I had the Instagram username, I had the full name, but obviously included stuff like high performance coach because people add it in their names just for like SEO and all of that stuff. And then like the total number of followers, how many people you're following, what they say in their bio, everything, their email addresses, post, phone number, country code, blah blah blah. So I just gave it to ChatGPT. I asked it to like create a new CSV which basically had data. So what basically it did is it went through all the fields, like the full name field, the bio field, everything, and then it created new columns for first name. This is done by AI. I did not do that. So now instead of like me adding all of this stuff, all of this random crap in the full name thing, we did not have access to the first name field. So now it extracted first names from all the different information which was available, and also it wrote out personalized first lines. So we did not have access to this data, like this field for the first name, but if we just give it to AI, obviously it can extract that data. And yeah, that's basically how you do it. And I have probably, I don't know if I've have I added the prompt? No, I'll create another guide on how you can do it. I did not add the ChatGPT prompt over here. I'm gonna create another separate guide on the same. And last option, like the last resort, if you really don't know how to use AI, you don't have money for like a ChatGPT subscription, you're extremely busy that you cannot manually write out the personalized first lines, and you do not have access to any better data scraping sources. Maybe you have like a niche which does not give out the data at all. Then you can use like a generic line. For example, like let's say I'm targeting salons, I can be like, found your salon on Google and genuinely impressed by what people said in the reviews. So it's like a very generic line. It works for every person I'm trying to reach out to, provided they are like a salon owner. But it works. So yeah, this is the last resort. And yeah, no, actually I did give out the prompt. So yeah, you need ChatGPT Plus or the Pro plan though to use O1, and the guide on the same is gonna be shared with you extremely freaking soon. I want to perfect the prompt so that you have like perfect lines. You can like literally import it as a column in SalesGen, and you can use it directly to just write out like cold lines for emails which get converted and all of that nice stuff basically. So if you want access to ChatGPT at discounted prices, you can access the same from here. So ChatGPT Plus costs around $24 and we provide access for like $10 if I'm not wrong, and you can just subscribe to it from here. If you're like an international user, go here. If you're like an Indian user, go here. And basically in the future, we're also gonna be providing you access to ChatGPT Pro for just $10. Like it, just a second, I'll show you. So ChatGPT Plus is $20 plus $4 for taxes, and Pro is around $200, so like $240 after taxes. Soon, like if you go ahead with us, obviously, we're gonna provide you access to the Pro ChatGPT plan, which is worth like $240 for $10, only because we buy it in bulk and we get like bulk buying discounts and everything. So you can subscribe from here if you don't have this. If you have it already, good. If you want to buy directly from ChatGPT, that's totally cool as well. And if you're like manually writing out the lines, then just go to the Google Sheet where you have all your list of leads, and you can just create like a new column called personalized first line, and then you can open up their Instagram profiles and just write out the personalized first lines. And when you import it, you can go to your SalesGen account and just have it as a variable like personalized first line, and when you like add it to the emails, all the different first lines which you write out for all these people manually will be sent out for them. So you can be like ABC blah 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 blah. So when we send out the email to this thing like Bell at the rate whatever her website is, the personalized first line is going to be what we write over here. When we send out the email to this, automatically the first line is going to be replaced by this. So that is what you can do. I'm just gonna delete it. So what I'll suggest you to do is, if you have like a lot of time and you're kind of like tight on funds and you don't have money, you don't have AI, and you're extremely tight on budget and you have a bit of time, just manually write out the lines. If you're gonna use like AI, like wait for the tutorial or just simply reach out to me, like create a question in the SalesGen community and I'll share the exact prompt with you in the DMs. So you can do that if you're using like AI to create it. Then you don't even have to do like any freaking work or something. But if you're gonna be the person who's like, I'm not gonna use this, I'm just gonna create like a line, like the first line which uses personalization, like using these examples which you shared with me, I genuinely found them nice, like they were pretty helpful and everything. So the actionable step right now is to just write down your personalized first line below. I've shared like pretty good examples, and I'm not giving exact guidelines because I don't know what data you're going to be having access to. If you don't have access to the total number of reviews someone has on Google, then obviously you cannot use that in the personalization field. So what I've thought of is like, let's say I'm reaching out to these coaches. Then what can I use for the personalized first line? I'm just trying to think for a bit. What could be a good first line? Like let's say I'm reaching out to these coaches. Obviously I'm going to be using the ones which AI generated over here. But like let's say I had to create one. So I can be like first name. So this is going to replace everything with the first name of the person. Found you on Instagram. Oh, what can I write? I'm just trying to come up with some ideas. If I'm is username. So it makes it like kind of human. And love how you're impacting people's lives with your coaching. For yeah. So basically what this will do is obviously include like the first name over here. So I'll be like, let's say I'm reaching out to someone called John. John found you on Instagram and love how you're impacting people's lives with your coaching. So obviously I'm reaching out to coaches, so it's gonna be coaching. Coaching is not my niche. I'm creating this for a client who hired us to like create outbound campaigns for him and everything, and loved how you're impacting people's life with your coaching. So many comments saying the same on @ and this is a variable like the username field. So when we add the list of leads, the username is gonna change. So like let's say I'm reaching out to this person, the final message would look something like his name is Don. So this is what it would look like @ Don. Yeah. So this is the first line in the email. It's not perfect. Obviously, I'm gonna be using like this thing, the AI generated lines because of that. But if I had to like just to give you an idea of what you could use, Don found you on Instagram and love how you're impacting people's lives with your coaching. So many comments saying the same on @ his profile username. So I hope it gave you a sense of idea what we're doing over here. So right now, please just don't like consume it like a zombie. Just write out your personalized first line below. If you're like obviously gonna do it manually, like it does not apply to you, just create a new field over here, personalized first line. If you're gonna be using AI, it does not apply to you. But if you're gonna be using like variables from your database, like your lead list, then you have to write it over here. Like just do it, man. It won't take a lot of time. It's not the end of the world if you do some freaking work. And over here, the second step is this is gonna help us out a lot when we're actually like sending out the emails and we're importing everything in a software. Like it does not make a lot of sense right now. You might be tempted to skip it, but later down the road, it's gonna help us a lot. So all the fields, like basically over here, the username, it's like a field which we are using to personalize because it's gonna be different for every single person. The first name of the person, it's a field which is gonna be different. So over here, just write down, like list down all the personalizable fields which you're gonna be using. For example, I'm currently using like just copy it from the first line which you wrote. So I'm using this and I'm using the username of the person. So all the fields which you're gonna be using to personalize this first line, just simply copy paste them below, and yeah, it's gonna help you out a lot in a couple of minutes. And by the time you're done with the video, it's gonna make like perfect sense. But please, for the love of God, just do it. Like you can include total number of reviews, what's the title of the person, like the job title, is he a CEO, CC to executive, what it is, and the average rating or the Instagram name of the person, whatever it is, just copy paste them over here and just leave a line as well. It just makes everything easy. So now we have sorted out your personalized first line. Once again, once the guide on AI personalization is ready, and if you want to use that, I'm going to attach it like somewhere in this document only to use AI to create like personalized first lines. If you're using like writing them out manually, just freaking do it. Like just take action, get into the habit, write out just one personalized first line. It's going to take you maximum 1 minute. So just get into the into the habit of taking action. Even if you don't have a list of leads, just find any random person on YouTube, Instagram, and just write like a personalized first line for him. If you're going to be using like personalization, just write it out over here manually And if you cannot use any fields to personalize, just write out a generic first line over here. So once we're done with this, then we move on to the second part of the email, which is the reason for the email. So right now we are like, okay bro, this person has actually done the work, blah blah blah, and we get like the person is now wondering, okay, so I've seen you've done the work, all of that stuff. Why exactly are you reaching out to me? And the structure for this, like this is what I've seen performs the best. Like you're not gonna find it anywhere. Like this is something which I came up with, is combining social proof with a no-brainer question. It won't make sense if I just give you like theory. So I'm just gonna use like an example. So I can be like, recently we helped a niche. Like you, niche is obviously like the type of person. So let's say I'm reaching out to a coach. So obviously the niche is coach. So I can be like, recently we helped a coach like you get, like, what do coaches want? They obviously want like more high ticket clients. So I can be like, coach like you, sign 8 new high ticket clients in short time frame. So this can be changed with the time frame which is short but believable as well. If I say like 8 new high ticket clients in 1 second, no one believes that. So 8 new high ticket clients in 5 days, something like that. And was curious if you're open to the idea of us helping you get like the desired outcome which they want. So like 5 to 15 clients on a pay on results basis. So this converts extremely freaking well. So you simply have to convert social proof. We use like social proof over here. Recently we held a coach like you, and one thing is, don't speak about how great you are. We're using social proof, and we know we're including social proof just because he has to believe us and then he's gonna pay us money. But we're gonna tie everything back to him, and we're gonna be like, we held a coach like you. So the person is like, okay bro, this thing is actually made for me. And it's not like, okay bro, this person is just trying to speak about how great he is. He's like, he helped a coach like me sign like 8 new clients in 5 days. And after that, we have shown that we actually know what he's speaking about, and we help people like him. So obviously FOMO, social proof, all of that nice marketing stuff. And was curious if you're open to the idea of us helping you get 5 to 15 clients on a pay on results basis. That's the simple formula you have. And it's a no-brainer question. Like if it's not a no-brainer, yes, like if it's just, you're asking a thirsty person in the middle of a desert, do you want water? If it's like a no-brainer question, obviously he's going to keep on reading. Obviously he's going to say yes to that. If you're asking him, do you want to buy sand from me? He's not going to be interested in that because that is something he does not want. So combine social proof with a no-brainer question. So the structure is exactly the same. I've given you the framework. Yeah. Recently we helped a niche. So it could be like a gym owner, salon owner, or like a dentist. It could be a YouTuber. It could be a podcaster. It could be a fintech company. It could be a B2B SaaS company like you. Then the person thinks, okay, he was like me. Get desired outcome, whatever your client wants. So if he's like a YouTuber, like get 2 million extra views every single month. If he's like a agency owner, like get more clients. If he has like a dentist, get more like patients. I think they call them patients only. If he's like a doctor, obviously patients. If he's like a CrossFit gym owner, then it could be like athletes for the gym. So just insert like a desired outcome which they want. Never speak about more money, more member, all of that stuff without having a number. So just come up with a tangible number so they can like genuinely see. So now you're not like making shit up. You're actually saying numbers, and business people love numbers. So if you're selling to businesses, just keep this in mind. In short time frame, like I've always seen, for example, like for simplicity purposes, illustration purposes, I could have been like, we helped an agency owner sign 30 clients in 45 days. That's believable as well. But if we say 5 new clients, that's even though like 6 times less compared to 30. But because we do it in like such a short time frame of like just, I think I mentioned like 8 new clients in 5 days because we promise it in such like a short time frame of like 5 days. Then like we are just like addicted to instant gratification. So always promise things on a very short time frame, ideally like 5 to 10 days. The tangible outcome which you promise over here, like the desired outcome, you can slightly reduce it. What do you mean? Instead of promising someone, I'm gonna help you make like $1 million in 1 year, you can be like, I'm gonna help you make $10,000 in the next 14 days. Now, even though $1 million is like much better in terms of the absolute value, it's like 100 times more. But at the same time, because like I'm a lazy freaking human and all humans are inherently lazy, the person is gonna be like, I want this stuff in like 14 days. And then the person starts thinking, okay, bro, like they can visualize it. If you have like a 1 year time frame, people are like, bro, I don't even know if I'm going to be like alive after a year. I don't even know, like something might go wrong, like another war might start, whatever. But if you're like, bro, just imagine 2 weeks from now, you have 10,000 more dollars. The person is suddenly thinking, damn, bro, like how could things be different? And he's getting into that buying state. He's now more interested. And that's the thing. So combine social proof with a no-brainer question. So just fill in the blanks. I've literally given you the templates over here and some principles to help you navigate this. The better your offer, the better your copy. If you have a terrible offer, like once again in the sales and community, how to create your offer will be covered, so you can watch out for that tutorial. But the better your offer, the better your copy. If you have extremely great copy, you will write like the perfect Shakespearean English, if that's a word. If you like graduate from Oxford and you write the perfectly crafted, articulated, perfect English, even then if you have like a terrible offer, no one wants to buy. Like I can create the best piece of coffee for trying to sell shit, but no one wants to buy shit, right? Like why would someone buy shit? So that's the thing. So if you have a really good offer, you can get away with bad copy as well. This is not extremely good copywriting or something. This is not like extremely complex English or something. But at the same time, I'm just stating my offer and I've literally done nothing else. The next principle, always sell what people want, even if you don't directly offer it. I'll give you a simple example. Over here, the person who I'm creating this campaign for, like the person who was reaching out to coaches, he was like, Somal bro, like we cannot really promise clients because I'm into the personal branding niche. I'm into the niche where I want to help these coaches with personal branding, and the personal branding services, like they're gonna allow them to have like 200 more leads. I think that is what he's offering. And I can only offer like leads, but I cannot guarantee they get clients. I'm like, my love, once you're done with all the leads are generated, like what is he gonna do with the leads? Obviously convert them into clients. Even if he has like just a 10 to 15% conversion rates, you're gonna help him sign like 10 to 15 new high ticket clients, right? So that's the thing. He was like, we're not manipulating people, we're not deceiving people. On the sales call, he's not gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna help you sign clients, but just to grab the attention, we're gonna promise the end result, which is what the person wants, which is clients. Obviously he wants more money, but we cannot promise money directly because it just does not work very well with business owners. And also deliverability, like if you put in, I'm gonna help you at $10,000 in 3 days, then Google is probably gonna put you in spam. So not the smartest idea, but always sell to people what they want, even if you don't directly offer it. For example, like once again, don't promise leads, promise more clients. Don't offer video editing, promise more revenue, because video editing leads to more reach leads to more revenue. Because if more people are actually coming in contact with the company or the person for whom you're like editing videos for, then that means the products and the services, they're getting more eyeballs, and more eyeballs obviously lead to more conversions, provided they have like good funnels and all. So you always promise more revenue. Always focus on the end result. In the sales call, you can clarify it, everything. And yeah, the thing is, if you don't sell what people want, you just cannot even get them to engage in a conversation with you. If you know, like for example, like if you know a person is like, how do I give a good example? Like Facebook ads library. I'll just try to come up with a good example. Hopefully it illustrates the point across. Let's say agency owner. Oh, let's say Charlie Morgan. He's into that thing, right? Charlie Morgan. He's not running any ads. Surprising. Imperium Agency. I'll try to find a couple of his ads. I think he stopped running ads. Earlier he used to run ads. Who's running ads? Sabri Subi. Hopefully him. Yeah. So he's running all of these different types of ads, and obviously he's like an internet marketer. So this is an ad like I was funnel hacking him seeing. So he's setting like a proven selling system. So I'm just gonna play it. I just handed you a proven selling system that you could use straight away to First thing, like 2 examples. He's selling me like a template, like SOPs for funnels, like ClickFunnels templates. That's exactly what he's selling. But he's promising me, what if I handed you a proven selling system which got you clients on autopilot? Do you see? And he's like a genius marketer. Now, for example, let's say I was like a speech coach and I thought that if he improved the way he spoke, he could get more sales and leads, all of that crap. I'm never gonna write it out in my cold email, hey bro, like I'm a speech coach and I offer like speech coaching. He's gonna be like, I don't need that. I don't want that. What if you promise? What if you could like improve your conversion rate in ads by 50%? Now the person is interested. You get on the sales call, you ask him questions and you're like, bro, I think you're doing absolutely everything fantastically perfectly. But if you just improve the way you speak, then I believe you're in a position where you can improve the conversion rate on your ads because you're from Australia and you have this Australian accent and you're targeting people in Canada. Just make some shit up, sorry, and blah blah blah. So basically, we sold him the final end result, and he's a genius marketer, by the way. So just study his ads and everything. So hope it got the point across. The next thing is, don't blabber about yourself. I am so great. I have 59 years of experience. I do that thing. I have this. I won this award. Blah, blah, blah. Just say enough to make them listen to you. And once you've built your credibility, you tie everything back in, like back onto the fact, like how you can help them out. You're not going to be like, see how great I am. I have all this social proof. This is what we did for a person like you. We are like showing social proof, but we are like a person like you, and was curious if you would be open to the idea of letting us help you get more results, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. So we once again tied it back to how we can help them. And it's like a human psychology. People are inherently selfish. They just want to like, yeah, they just are selfish and they just want to know like what's in store for me. The fourth thing is, if you lack social proof, make it up. Like, I know this sounds terrible advice, but I learned this from Shad Khan, very nice guy, and he had a course. So yeah, you can check him out. Pretty dope guy. So he had a course and he was speaking about the fact like if you're a beginner and you don't have any social proof or testimonies, none of that nice stuff, then you can like make it up in the case study. Like over here, you can just make up a random number, like use some random freaking numbers. I know that is morally wrong, but we're going to be working for free and we're not going to be charging people till the time they get results. So that is justified, at least in my humble opinion. Like, we're not going to be charging people, right? So like they don't lose anything and we only get paid once they get the results. So if you're new, if you don't have any social proof, make it up, but only work for free. Do not even try to make money without having a proof of concept. So the action step is like, write your reason for the email below, and I'm just going to copy paste the template and make the changes, and boom, I'm pretty much good to go. So I can be like, I'm writing out writing this out for coaches, right? Recently, we held a coach like you sign 8 new high ticket clients in short time frame. So let's say like 5 days. And please don't copy paste it. Don't be a retard. Use your own freaking head. And was curious if you're open to the idea of us helping you get 5 to 15 coaching clients in the next few weeks on a pay on results basis. So yeah, pretty simple and straightforward. So do the action step and just write it over here, and yeah, you're pretty much good to go. The third thing is obviously, once again, the third aspect of the email is a call to action. So now the person knows we actually took time and we're not like a robot when we actually are. But thanks to AI, the person thinks like we wrote out the personalized first line ourselves, and then we also dropped in like why we're reaching out to them. Now the person knows like what do we have in store for them, why we are reaching out. So he's like, okay, bro, like either he's going to be like, cool, this is something I'm interested in, or he's not going to be interested in it. So he's just going to tell you I'm not interested, or he's just going to like report you or like just not reply to you. Simply, yes, the person is actually interested in what we have in store for him. We have to make it easy. Like he's probably wondering, what exactly can I do to get in contact with you? He's just kind of like curious. And once again, we like, if you remember, the person is a busy person and he's crossing the busy New York street, blah, blah, blah. So now we don't want him to think. We just want him to take the next action, which we want him to take, which will allow us to move him up the pipeline and get in contact with him and converse with him and convert him as a client. So that is the logical next step. And we don't want him to think. We want the call to action, which is basically what we want the person to do in case if he's interested in working with us, to be extremely frictionless, meaning the person does not have to think, he does not have to make a very big commitment. Like, let's say I sent out this email and I send a payment link, like an invoice link for a $10,000 payment. Yeah, by the way, if you're interested in this, here's a $10,000 payment link. Obviously, it's a very big ask, right? So the chances someone says yes to us, like until unless we're like Sam Owens, because that guy literally sold stuff for like $36,000 with just a payment link. Until unless you're like Sam Owens, then you probably should not be asking for a very big ask. So here is how you create the perfect frictionless call to action, which allows you to get in contact with people. And here is like basically a rule of thumb, which I've noticed. Avoid asking for a call upfront. What a lot of people do, if this sounds something competence, like what time would work the best for you to get on a call. Like I've used that. It has worked fine. Like I have signed people with that. I'm not saying it does not work at all. But instead of asking for a call upfront, because you're not providing any value, and it's a very big ask. Like if I'm a busy person and I receive a random email, I don't want to get on like a 1 hour call, which I know is going to be like a sales call. So instead of that, you can offer value through a quick VSL. A VSL is like a video sales letter, which is like just a 1.5 to 3 minute video, like a quick 2-ish minute video, which allows you to like get the point across, what you guys do, like how you can help them, your offer, risk reversal, everything. Because if you had to type it out, no one wants to read it. Videos are much more engaging, much more better. So what I like to do is just like in the call to action, I'm like, bro, if you want me to drop a quick 2-minute video which explains how exactly we can help you out, then just like comment yes or like drop a thumbs up below. So now it's very frictionless. I'm not asking him to get on a call with me. I'm not asking for a lot of commitment from his end. I'm just asking him for the permission to send like a quick video, and basically it's a video. He can like ignore it. It's just 2 minutes long. It does not require any commitment from his end. He just has to invest like 1 minute if he wants to do that. And I'm not asking for a call, not asking for a money. And yeah, it's pretty much like frictionless. So if you've not created your VSL, you can go through this document and I've shared like the exact step-by-step guide which you can use to create VSL, like literally everything. I've even shared the exact templates which you can use to like present your offer. All of that stuff is covered in the document. Like you can see how you can do it, everything, templates, all of it is provided over there. So just go through it and create like a 2ish minute VSL. So we don't like pitch a call, or we don't try to sell anything in the email. We just ask for permission to send like a quick video which will allow us to engage with them and get on a call with them later. Once again, direct calls can work, but lower friction asks like a quick 2-minute video, it performs better, because obviously like the people aren't staking a lot. Like what do they have to lose by saying yes to that email? Literally nothing. They can just ignore that USL as well. And always specify the exact call to action. Like what do I mean by exact call to action? What exactly the person should do? Don't be like, let me know if it's fine if I drop a quick 2-minute video. What exactly should the person do if he wants to receive the email or the video, sorry? Should he comment like a thumbs up, or should he be like, yeah, yes, send it over? So we want to remove friction. We don't want the person to think. And the best thing which I noticed is just asking them to reply with either like a thumbs up or a yes. Thumbs up works better in my opinion with like, what do you say, DMs and all. So when I'm sending out cold DMs on Instagram and everything, I ask them to reply with the thumbs up. But if I'm sending out like emails, I ask them to reply with the yes, because I don't know, like in emails you prefer text, because like getting the emojis and everything on PC especially, it's kind of like a big hassle. So typing yes on your PC keyboard is much easier, but Instagram is mostly used on phone. So when people are using the app on their phone, it's much easier to just send a quick thumbs up. So either use like a thumbs up or yes, or you can use anything. Just like comment or just tell them what exactly they should reply to the email with if they want to receive the video. I've added like 2 examples of frictionless call to actions which have worked perfectly fine for me. If yes, just reply with the thumbs up and I'll share a 2-minute video explaining how we can help you out. I made a quick 2-minute video explaining how we can help you, how everything works. Just reply with a yes if this is the best place to drop it. So it's pretty much simple. So just write down your frictionless call to action below. So what I'm going to do is just go through the email which I wrote. So I'm going to be like, let's say I'm reaching out to Somil. Somil found you on Instagram and love how you're impacting people's life with your coaching. Saw so many comments saying the same one at the rate Somil elevates. Recently we held a coach like you sign 8 new clients in 5 days and was curious if you're open to the idea of us helping you get 5 to 15 coaching clients in the next few weeks on a pay on results basis. So I can be like, just reply with the yes to this email and I'll share a quick 2-minute video explaining how everything works, and I'll share a quick 2-minute video explaining how everything works. Yeah, so that's pretty much good to who's this random person calling me. Yeah, I think this works, or the alternative could be let me I made a quick 2-minute video explaining how we can help you. Is this the best place just reply with a yes if this is the best place to drop it. Yeah, so these are 2 variations which we can use. Obviously this is the shorter one, so I'll probably go ahead with this. And the last step is optional, but I like to include it, is what I call abundance projection. I also included it in the Instagram cold DM system. So you can just, by the way, if you're curious how you can turn Instagram into an automated outbound machine, and it's fully automated, you don't even have to like send out DMs. You can simply just go to this course, completely free in the sales and community. You can go over here, and yeah, it's pretty much good to go. Yep. Cool. So what do you mean exactly by abundance projection? You just have to show you're cool walking away from the table. Because, like, I don't know, my mother always used to say, I think in spirituality or astrology, it's something like, basically from what I understand, women and money are very similar. They have like Venus energy, at least that's what my mother says. I don't understand any of this stuff. I'm kind of like a dumbass. So she was like, okay, so what I understand is they're pretty similar. They have the Venus energy. And obviously, if you're like chasing a girl like a hungry dog, if you don't speak to me, I'm gonna eat the world up alive. Obviously, no one wants to be with that person. The best type of people, the best people who have like the best frame in dating, relationships, whatever, they're like, cool, I appreciate you, I admire you, I respect you as a person. But at the same time, I'm cool walking away from the table. I'm already good. I already have my share of abundance and prosperity in the world. And if you're not going to be a part of my life, that's totally cool as well. Absolutely no pressures. Like, you're totally cool to reject me, walk away from here, and I won't be like bitter or regretful or hateful, something like that. Obviously, that's much more attractive. And because money is similar to that Venus energy, what my mother says, we have to project abundance. Just be like, yeah, okay, by the way, like, I'm just reaching out because I want to help you. That does not mean you're like better than me. That does not mean I'm dying to work with you or I want your money or something. And I'm totally cool if this is something you're not interested in. Obviously, this reduces spam reports. Like, people don't report your emails as spam because, like, the biggest reason people report emails as spam is because they think you're just going to keep on blasting them and they don't want that. So they report it as spam. So they never receive the emails again. But if you're like, if you don't want to ever receive these emails again, just reply with the no. So obviously your spam rate goes down. People are actually replying to your emails. That also improves your deliverability and overall email health. And it also removes the pressure for them. They're like, oh my God, do I have to say yes to him? Will the, like, how you do something is how you do everything. And if your first interaction, you're like, bro, if like you don't buy from us, if you don't work with us, that's totally cool. People are going to think even the sales call is going to be like low pressure. And then they're like, brother, this sales call, whatever I'm getting on, he was not that desperate or needy in the initial interaction. So he's probably not going to be needy over here as well. And they're like much more likely to speak with you, engage with you. And it also creates FOMO. I don't know why. Someone used this on me. I'm just gonna try to find that email. Yeah. Yep. This person reached out to me and I shared this example of a cold email so many times, but I genuinely love this email. Like, he did a fantastic job. So he was like the last sentence, please see, you're not on the list, just respond back no if you're not interested in ever receiving these emails again. And that did something. It was like around 5:45 p.m. in the afternoon and I had just finished up work. Like, I received it a couple of months ago in July, as you can see, and I had finished up the work, everything, and I was on my way to the gym. I had not eaten food, everything. I was like, yeah, I'll just kind of watch it later once I'm done. I saw the Loom video, everything. But when I read this, I don't know, for some reason, I just clicked on the Loom video then and there. I really have no freaking idea why I did that exactly. But it just worked for some freaking reason. So it just works, man. I'm not that person who's like trying to figure out why everything, the exact science behind it, but it just freaking works. So I learned it from him. So just, it creates a lot of FOMO as well. So yeah, which leads to more reply rates, everything. So the best example which I've seen, like, I showed it from him for full transparency. Please see, if you hate the idea of getting dream result, like if you hate the idea of getting new patient, new customers, let me know and you'll never receive these emails ever again. So it's pretty much like you're setting up the frame that we're pretty much good to go, blah blah blah. So yeah, just write down your abundance projection below. So just copy paste this, and yep. So I'll be like, please say if you hate the idea of getting more clients, or you cannot, or you simply cannot handle more. I think it's good enough. Like, if you hate the idea of getting more clients, let me know, and you'll never receive these emails again. I think there's another psychological concept which is going on, like, I don't remember. So basically it was something in sales which is taught a lot. So whenever someone pitches, so what most salesmen do is they're like, yeah, is it cool if I pitch it to you? So obviously that's not very good. What the person who was teaching the sales training, I think his name is Josh Lyons on Instagram. You can check him out. Extremely good guy. Josh Lyons. I think this is something related to this. Josh Lyons says something like that. And he was like, would you be opposed to the idea of me trying to pitch you? So that just breaks patterns, and it's just a psychological concept. So I'm going to use this. And now we just have to copy paste like parts 1, 2, 3, 4 of the email below. And we pretty much have our email and we're good to go. So this is like, yep, sorry. I'm just gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna go ahead with this. Oh, where's the thing where I was pasting it? Yup. And part 2 of the email. So I'm just gonna copy this. Oh, where's this? Where this? And yep, this is the personalized first line. Where's this? Yep, and our email is pretty much good to go. And also, I'm gonna break this line into 2 things so that it just becomes like easier to read. I can just include this in the next line as well. Yep. So now even if the person skips this line, so he can just make this line make sense. So yeah, that's it. That's our email ready, and I literally created it live in front of you. And this is the exact email which we're going to be using, apart from the first line maybe, sorry, because we want to, like, I'm going to use the AI generated lines because they're much better in my humble opinion. And after that, also include all the personalization fields which you're going to be using in the email. Right now it does not make sense, but once you're like finally importing all the fields in the software, it's going to make like perfect sense. So these are the 2 fields which I'm going to be using, which I wrote out earlier. So I'm going to simply paste them here. So now coming to the deliverability part, because if you write the perfect email copy, everything is perfect, you're the best guy, you're the best, like you have the best results, case studies, everything, you're reaching out to the perfect client. If your emails end up in spam and promotions, it does not matter, right? Because they're never going to read the emails. So we also have to ensure deliverability. And what you can do for that, some guidelines, is use text only emails. Even in SalesGen, like, just gonna show you quickly before I tell you what exactly I'm speaking about, because it's better if I show it to you. So over here, like, let's say I go to this account, Spark G Media, simplicity purposes. And this works with all email senders. Like, yeah, you have the option. So like, let's say I go to the marketing tab and I create like an email campaign from here. and I go to like new. I click on blank. So I have three options. I can either use like a plain text editor, I can use like an HTML editor. That's cool as well if I'm not wrong. But then you have this design editor, which is like basically extremely fancy. Obviously, if you're like a big company, you want your newsletters. Newsletters are fine because people have opted in. But this is not the best for like cold emails. So you have all these feeds. This is a lot of like code and stuff. So this is not how normal humans communicate, right? Like when you send out a random Gmail, this is not what it looks like. So the best thing is use a plain text only editor. So use text only emails. Don't include like fancy graphics or fancy stuff. Just simple plain text, the boring unsexy stuff. That is, yeah, just text, man. That's all you need. And yeah, so it works the best for deliverability. Avoid images if possible. Avoid links, especially those shitty links like bit.ly and tiny URL. So never include these. Like this is just a one way, like it's just a one way ticket to hell, which is your spam box. So please don't use these links. If you're gonna use links, some links which have high deliverability. If you're using like YouTube links, I don't think so they have like an issue with that. It's obviously much better if you don't use any links, but YouTube works well, Loom works well, because these are like trusted and reputable. So even if you're sending like a VSL, like I'm gonna share with you how you can send the VSL out when you're getting replies and everything. But even when you're sending out the VSL, you should be sending Loom links instead of like hosting them in some random place. Like I made this mistake. I was sending out, like I had created a funnel and I was sharing the link to my funnel, and the funnel had basically, I'll just show you. So I was sharing the link to this funnel which had the VSL and everything. So it was the same VSL, but then I started sending it using Loom and I saw better open rates and everything. So yeah, once you're done with that, just open like MailMeteor spam checker. It's absolutely free of cost and it's like an awesome tool. So you just copy paste this entirely and you paste it over here to see what is wrong. So I'm just gonna add spaces, everything. Yeah. So quite a few mistakes, like the overall score is like poor. So what is this? Oh yeah. So you can just remove the words which it says are problematic. They're gonna be highlighted over here. Was curious if you're, if you are interested in the idea of us, instead of get, we can use sign, maybe sign 5 to 15 coaching clients in the next few weeks on a pay on results basis. Yeah, so no more errors. And just one last thing, like it says it's unnatural. Hey, and I won't I will bother again. So yeah, just change some words and it will basically tell you. Once you have this overall score, just copy paste this and this is your final email. So you just remove it. We did not change anything. We just changed like a couple of words so that deliverability and everything is better. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So once you're done with this, you're pretty much good to go. But if you want like perfect deliverability, what you can do is go to ChatGPT. Like just a second. You just copy paste this exact entire prompt. Like it's pretty long. I'm just going to start from the bottom. You copy this, and this works the best with ChatGPT o1. So ensure that's selected. I've actually used this a lot in this account. So I'm going to log into another account when I'm actually doing it for the client. I have like 2 accounts for this. So they use the O1 thing. That's the best thing. Just paste the prompt, and after that, just copy paste your exact email. Yeah. And you're pretty much good to go. It's going to take a couple of minutes. It's going to tell you what exactly you should fix. So, blah, blah, blah. Great, John. No. So, you can also include the subject line, but I've created another guide for creating like the subject line creation SOP. I've created it already. There's a video on the Sales and YouTube channel as well related to how you can do that. So that's why we're not covering it over here. But yeah, you can also include the subject line if you want help with that. So it will give you like suggestions, everything. You can read it basically. And I'm going to do it with O1 obviously because that's better and it provides you better insights. Sometimes it's better to wait for the best than to use something which is wrong. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And this is how you can create pretty high converting copy when reaching out to people using cold emails. And yeah, that's it. That's the entire guide. If you have any questions, once again, go to the Sales and Community Automated Profits Alchemy. You just simply go over here and you can create a new post in questions and answers. And yeah, we're gonna get back to you, answer them in the community. Take care, man. Have a beautiful, fantastic day ahead. Give me a fist bump. Oh, camera is there.